So here we are, Three Skulls Tavern, back again for episode 3 of Forbidden Lands. Interesting to see how this one goes. There were some technical difficulties, and anyway, lost a bit of prep time. That's why we're a little bit late starting. And anyway, you won't know that if you're watching this on YouTube or watching it back in the future, but we're an hour behind from when we would normally start. Anyway, before we just jump straight in, I just want to clarify a few things that have happened in between last month's episode and this month's episode. Namely, I asked the players what they intended to do following the combat session last episode. And we'll talk about this in our next tavern talk, like why I've done that. But the idea is to help me with focus prep, knowing what the players are intending. And to help move things on a little bit, we also did a tiny bit of text. What would you call it? It's kind of play by post, but by Discord. Yeah. So like play by chat, kind of. Yeah. So we did a tiny bit of role play, and the idea was basically just to, have a tiny little bit of role play between the two NPCs that got saved. So Lilla and Olaf, and find out what people wanted to do. So, we've done that. People have rolled for their food and water for the day as well. And we're basically at a position where we kind of know what we're going to be doing. Which I'm gonna hand over to Charlotte, or I should say Lyria. And yeah, you can tell us basically, as you're the de facto leader of this group, what the decision is going to be in terms of... So the options were kind of... one of the Saurians got away and went running off to the south. So one of the options is to go chasing after that Saurian. Another option is to just camp by this pond. There's already a campfire here. There's a source of fresh water, although I did say that it had a kind of odd smell to it, a bit sweet. So some of you've decided to... That's no problem. I'm just gonna drink that, and I'm gonna fill my canteen up to a D12. No worries. And some of you are like, I'm not gonna drink that water. So that'll be interesting to see what comes of that. Just show of hands, who actually drank the water? Other than I know Kark did.
I did ask whether or not the water was good to drink based on my survival. If it was a bit off, then I probably won't have. But if it's perfect,
so I gave it. You didn't need a roll for survival. I kind of gave that to you for free, which was I kind of said in the chat that it smelled odd.
Odd.
Hang on, Matt.
Yeah.
As soon as you said it smelled odd, the whole point of me trying a roll survival test was to purify the bloody stuff.
How are you going to purify with a survival roll?
We don't have a cauldron.
We take some sand.
Have you? Do you know what a birch pot is?
That takes time, and we haven't had any time to do that.
It takes a knife and a birch tree.
Okay. Slow down for a second. This is going back to something in general, which is and nobody should be just making dice rolls. They need to ask if they state an intent if they want to try something. I'll ask for a dice roll. Because remember that dice rolls in this game can generate willpower points, which is a pretty powerful currency, and the intention is not to roll too often. So anyway, so you did roll a survival roll. You passed it, but I didn't ask for it, and you wouldn't have been able to purify the water anyway with the survival roll. So
you don't need to labor the point.
Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, but this is also like a training video, right? So right. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll let you. We can retcon and say you didn't drink the water because I'm kind of.
No. Let's continue with the version of reality where you bust my balls unnecessarily.
And we've only just started.
This could be a red herring, of course, as well.
Maybe it actually helps.
Anyway, so moving on with the story.
Lyria, what are we doing?
Exactly.
Boss.
What's the plan?
Well, you say we don't have a cauldron, but do you know how easy it is to make one out of an empty goblin head? I mean, there's one walking around right over there.
That's a crafting roll.
I have a cauldron.
It's not empty. I'm using it to keep me worms in.
Do you have a cauldron?
I have a cauldron.
Do you?
Wow.
I do.
Oh. Oh, we
You
have
could
more
have
time than I
called
realized.
So
That
Yeah.
changes
this
everything.
this goes back to another thing as well, which is if you're going to spend time purifying water and all the rest of it, then you're going to be spending a quarter day at this site, right?
I did think that we were just happy enough to sit around, but then
But
somebody
that's-
said
yeah.
that they weren't.
That's the thing.
Arlic-
We didn't discuss that yet.
Arlic-
Some people were saying
No,
they wanted
Arlic
to
wants
leave
to
straight
move.
away.
I thought we discussed it last month.
No, I listened back to it. Not that I heard.
Well, we are
Let's try.
between daytime and evening right now.
Yeah, so let me open up. Let me open up what I've got
We have
here
daylight.
for.
We have daylight for another couple of hours.
Let's not waste it.
And I'm on
So-
Facebook, of course. Sorry about this.
I reckon we should move,
Here we go.
obviously stay in the same hex, but move about an hour away from where we are. That gives us a bit of a time to kind of like then sit down, have a hasty camp, and just go to sleep.
Well, if we want to get these villagers where they, or the, not the villagers, we want to get Lilla and Olaf to where they want to go. You guys want to head northeast, you should head out now.
Going through the woods at night, I don't recommend it.
Might be able to get out of the woods before it gets real dark.
We're a few days into the woods now, right at this point, aren't we?
We're
What
yeah,
is the
about
map?
a day or so.
You
into
are,
this.
yeah. If you look at, if
Breaking
you've got
character,
Gtove
looking
open,
at the map. We're,
Well, actually, we're 3 days into the woods.
yeah, but you can pop straight out of the woods, going to the
Yeah.
to the northeast.
to the northeast, yeah.
You're 3 days into the woods, but you've been staying
Ah.
along the outskirts, so it's not going to be
Yeah,
hard
we
to
can
get
check
out of
it
it.
out.
I kind of figured I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, so you don't have to stay in the woods. You don't have to stay where you are. But again, looking at the time thing, it's approaching evening. So the whole fight scene and everything else kind of that was all during the daytime quarter, and we're now moving it to evening. So yeah, what is it you want to do?
All right, so with our sunlight starting to fade, I think we should just set up camp here at the edge of the forest by the pond. Even if we move an hour or two away, any fire that we start is going to be noticed. So whether we use that time to prepare, like we've got the cauldron, we can make some fresh water by boiling it. That will help get our water sources back up. We have
remember what-
useful, we have useful wood right here, and the
And-
ground more or less is flat.
And Lilla suggested that the Saurians might be waiting for someone else. I don't know if I want visitors in the middle of the night.
Well, like I was just saying, whether we move an hour away, which really isn't that far when we got to beat through bush, we're not getting too far. They're going to find us.
Maybe
If
we
they
move-
want to find us, they will find us.
Maybe we move more than an hour away. Maybe a few hours away.
I'm happy
Look
to
at the
try and-
sky.
It's still early enough. We have time.
I could probably.
You know what? Ever since you came into this goddamn party, you've been causing us fucking problems. So sit down, shut up, and listen to what you're told right now.
All right. I'll don't mean to
I
cause
did not
anyone
want to
any
come in
trouble.
here in the first goddamn place.
And,
I don't want to
Arlic
spend here
will-
any more time than I have to in this godforsaken fucking forest.
And I'm talking
So-
about leaving.
You're not.
So just
You're
to
talking about us risking our lives in a dark fucking forest.
All right.
You don't know, man. You don't know. Fucking flashbacks of the Davokar, always.
And yeah, I think Arlic just kind of goes and he's already not in the best mood, and he just goes and tends to Greta for a little while.
okay.
It's all right, Greta. We'll get out of here.
That'll
What's her-
keep me warm tonight.
So what's the plan?
I
You're
think
gonna-
we just set up camp here.
Okay.
We have enough people that will be able to help spread the watches out a little bit more, so it won't be putting a lot more stress on us.
Yeah.
And
So
Yeah.
looking at so again in Gtove to the right of the map there is I've pasted in this like travel document, so you can see basically everybody gets to do one thing. So who's doing what exactly? Anybody who's going to be tending, I'll allow you to boil water in the cauldron while somebody's making camp as well, because that's just basically keeping the fire going and that sort of thing.
So,
Yeah.
so I would recommend that Arlek makes camp.
Actually, so Arlek has a different plan. Arlek would use his last willpower point to produce a needle and thread from his pack of many things, and will offer to once and for all take care of Ark's clothing. I won't be repairing it. I'll be turning it into rags, but we'll keep him warmer. That's my plan.
I won't require a crafting roll for it this time. You've got the needle.
Well, so here's the thing: is my idea is like I'm crafting a new item, right? Which is rags.
Yeah, but if it's rags, it's not really a new item, is it? I know technically.
Well, I mean, it kind of is. Like
I know technically it is, but
yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. No, if you don't want to require willpower, I'm totally happy.
Well, what
with
happens
that.
if you fail the roll? Let's talk about that then.
Then I can just spend longer doing it. Maybe I'll stay up all night working on it to get an extra die.
We'll tie it
I mean,
together
it's up
and
to you,
let
Matt.
know.
You're the GM. If you don't want to,
We talked about this. We talked about this to kind of draw a line in the sand under Trouser Gate, which is basically
I don't want to do the trousers. I'm just doing rags. Like we're making rags so that in the future I can get the tailor talent, and then I could actually
right.
repair or
Okay.
make clothing.
All right. Then that's fine. Then a crafting roll is
That's my
fine.
idea.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And in that case, I will stay up all night doing it, so I won't rest or sleep, to get an extra die. Do it.
Right. So you're taking the sleepless condition for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're gonna take 2 quarter days to make
Exactly.
rags.
Yep. I'm gonna
Okay.
make sure I do this right.
All right. Who else is? So that's what you're doing. Who's gonna be making
Yep.
camp?
I'm hurt, so I kind of want to rest.
I mean, you're gonna rest at night as well, right? You kind of need to make a camp to rest, otherwise you're gonna be sleeping on the ground.
Okay, well I can make camp. Well, you're
It's
wrong.
a survival roll, which is wits. So go ahead and give that a roll.
1 second.
First of all, let's wait and see what everyone's doing, because you could get help if somebody wants to help you make camp. There's other things you can do, like you could forage for food, you could go fishing for food if you want to find like a nearby stream or river.
Right.
We can say that there might be fish in this pond. You can go hunting if any of you want to go hunting.
I think
I know
one
you're-
person needs to keep watch.
Well, how damaged is Kai?
It's on
He is,
Gtove. It's on
he's
Gtove
hurt.
there. So if you look, I've put these little like yellow tokens on your strength, agility, wits, empathy. So those dots are your total values for each of you, and the yellow dots are basically where you're currently at.
So I'm battered and bruised. I can do with the rest, but I'm happy to.
Yeah, I mean
Make
you're at 2 agility, and you're the marksman, which requires agility.
Yeah, so I'm happy to make camp as long as I can then rest during the night to sleep. If that's okay with everyone.
Well, I can try and heal you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, what?
You can? Yeah, that's fine.
I got 2 points in healing.
He has to be broken before healing still helps.
Or does he just need a rest then?
I just
Yeah.
need to rest.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's broken, or you can try healing to heal critical injuries as well.
Right.
I'll fucking break you. Just to heal you.
If you want to give him a critical injury, go for it.
Just yeah.
Wait for me. You crazy blood witch.
Yoink.
Which we
You
don't
don't
know.
need this. You have extra.
Yeah, I'll happily set up camp and then sleep if everyone's happy with that. But it means someone's gonna have to keep watch overnight.
Yeah, I will keep watch.
But it means
I mean, can we make the NPCs help keep watch as well?
We want to leave them.
Seems
to
harsh.
I mean, they're pretty. They've basically been enslaved, marched, not fed well, so they're quite tired.
So nothing has
shouldn't-
changed.
Shouldn't our goblin be keeping watch overnight? Because he can see at night.
That's true.
Who's also muted.
You're muted, Harry.
There we go.
Hey.
Hey, now we can hear you.
I'm not against it.
So like, yeah, he could rest now, and then keep watch overnight.
Seems like a plan.
Rest while we set up camp.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kai will still need help.
I'll be fine.
I mean, so Lilla and Olaf can probably help set up camp.
I mean, they really should be experienced caravanners, so I imagine that even in a bit of a bashed up state, they should be well aware of what's important to do.
It's a help die or two, maybe.
Well, I don't mind. If anyone wants to help me, I won't say no if one of the other two want to help me.
I may try and find us food while someone's setting camp up.
So, if you're going to be sleeping on the ground, on the bare ground, you need to make a survival roll, Harry.
Hmm.
But
I
he's
guess so.
used to this.
I've got a tent for 2.
I thought I had something to make that a little useful. Let's have a look. No, I don't. That's fine.
I've
gotta
lend you
go.
my blanket. I'll lend you my blanket while I'm working on your food.
Yeah. Yes. That would. You know what? That would be great. Thank you very much. I appreciate the blanket.
I'll be done with
Right,
this soon
let
enough.
me get to the. Let me get to that. So survival.
Let me know when you make a roll.
Yeah.
Just trying to remember the
Yeah,
formula
you
there.
got a success there, so that's fine.
Nice.
Yeah. So you managed to get some sleep, and yeah, you'll be sleeping. You'll be recovering all of your. So on your character sheet there, make sure to recover all of your agility. Your agility was the only one that was down, so I can move that over.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so that's you sleeping. Whoever's making the camp, which is, yep, Ed. Oh my God. Mhm.
Welcome to my life.
What was
Wow.
what were the two gear
Great
dive?
camp.
Gear dive from?
For my tent.
Can Ed get a little help from Olaf and Lilla, maybe?
I might be able to do this with one of my talents. 1 second.
Yeah. I'll let you get because they're quite. Yeah, I'll let you have 2 dice. That'll help you set up camp. You can have two extra dice. So go ahead and roll just 2 skill dice, Ed.
Yep.
'Cause that's kind of all they're good for. They're not gonna be up for foraging or doing much else.
Nice! There you
Yay!
go. Lilla for the
Oh.
win.
Yeah, at least one of them's good.
Thanks,
for
Dylan.
The other
Okay.
one's a fucking.
All right, so you make
And-
camp, and
I'm tired.
Arlek.
Siri
So
was looking for
Charlotte,
food
what were you?
now.
Charlotte, you're looking for food, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How do I do that?
So you're foraging, I assume, right?
Yes.
It's a survival roll, and there's no modifiers. You would kind of get a modifier because the time of I think the being in a forest you get a +1, but because it's also autumn. Sorry, hold on a second.
Spring.
It's spring, right?
Yeah,
You
so
get -1
-1
for spring, and you get +1
Yeah.
for being in the forest, so it kind of just balances out. So it's just a straight up survival roll.
Come on, mushrooms.
Bear in
and
mind that
tree
your
bark.
wits is down to 4 as well.
So that's
Yes.
just wits.
Yeah, I have no scouting, or no survival, but I do have 4 wits, so
All right.
this
Hey,
might
little
be
man.
something.
I have
Let's
faith.
see if you come back with those lovely red and white spotted mushrooms.
Everybody loves those mushrooms.
They're tasty.
You
Mm.
can push it.
Um,
Oh wait. Hold on. Did we talk about pushing? No.
We did. No.
I mean, I would. Yeah. It's up to you.
So yeah. That's
I
fine.
would not let myself push it.
No, it doesn't make sense anyway. It's something we've talked about. It's the thing that keeps coming up, even though we've talked about it. Anyway,
We've got food anyway, so
you do have food, and you can share food with each other as well. It's just every time it's used, the dice is rolled. So if you've got one person's down to their last d6 of food, everyone can still eat from it. It's just every time they're eating from it, you roll the dice. So there's eventually it's going to run out.
It's fine.
Yeah,
we
we've
also
re-rolled.
rolled for our eating and drinking prior to this, so that's taken care of. This would just top up our food stores a little bit more.
Okay, so the evening is drawing to a close, and you wake Harry up. You wake Kark up as the rest of you all go down for the night.
Except for me, I'm stitching.
And you're stitching, of course. So you're not recovering that empathy. You're in a bad mood.
Yeah, I am.
You're also going to be taking this sleepless condition.
Yep.
So
I'm going to drop my wits here.
Let me just show that.
Hey. How's it going, Cac?
My arse is cold.
I'm working on that. You just keep under that blanket.
I appreciate it, though.
Yeah. We'll get it sorted out.
All right. So you're now sleepless. Everybody else is basically going to be going up to full health. And the night passes without any issue.
Wonderful.
So why don't you give me your crafting roll? Yeah.
Yes, I will happily do that. RF4B1S1G. Let's do this. God.
What does that spell?
Yes.
It wasn't supposed to be like this.
It spells a pretty mediocre roll.
Wow.
Wait, I get an extra one because I spent extra time doing it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not fully convinced that the
one
dice
skill
rollers
die.
here are.
Yep, here we go.
truly random.
Here we go. This is the big moment. Ah. That's all right. Yeah. So I like. Well, Cac, you better hold on to those rags, and I'll work more on this later. Getting a little tired.
I
Can't
mean,
really concentrate.
I'm gonna roll that you've made rags. You've definitely made rags. You've been hacking and chopping stuff up. It's just that you haven't done a very good job of sewing them together.
Yeah.
So you basically have, like, let's say 6 pieces of cloth cut into rags.
Bits,
Yeah.
some pieces. Yeah. And I can try again later, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe another night.
Okay. So that's
I gotta get like a skirt or something when we get to
Just use the blanket.
some town or village.
Just tie it around your waist. You're fine.
Like
Okay, so we get to the morning. It's also a new day, so I'm gonna quickly. I gotta do this with my other thing. So we're in a new day. We're the 32nd of spring way now. Yeah. What do you want to do now?
Boss, where are we going?
Well, let's pack up our camp and get the fuck out of here.
Northeast.
I'm not going to argue against that.
Yeah, I think that's where we've seen some,
These civilians are all fucked up.
information
If we can get
pointing to
somewhere where
some
there's a
place.
All right.
So looking at the map here, you wanted to go off to the northeast, right? That's what you've ruled on.
Yeah, it's the quickest way out. From there, we could find a road or a path or some kind of trail to take us somewhere that's a little bit more civilized than this bog.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the question then is, who's leading the way?
I would recommend that Kark leads the way, and I keep watch while doing that.
Yeah. So leading the
Sounds
way,
good.
leading the way is, basically one person is assigned for that. You're leaving the forest, heading into the plains. So it only takes, like, you can move 2 hexes per day, per
Alright.
quarter day. Sorry. So yeah, every time you enter a new hex, you roll survival. And so that'd be the person leading the way. So that'd be Kark.
That'll be me.
Mm-hmm. So give us a
Okey-dokey.
survival roll, please.
Sure thing.
Can I help him
Mm-hmm.
lead the way?
I don't think anyone else can. I think only one person can lead the way.
Oh, he can only
Okay.
he can only do it, but I can maybe add a help die.
I'm
Well,
not sure you
help
can
die might
help
come in
with.
handy.
Can you help with leading the way? I'm not sure that
I
works.
don't think you can.
No, I'm pretty sure you can.
It doesn't sound like it
You
makes
can help.
sense.
You
off
can
the
help
bat.
with scouting,
Okay.
but you can't
I'll
help
help
with leading the
scout.
way. So failure means
So
that
that
you've
was
got...
no success and no failures.
It's a failure. You need a success
Ah.
to succeed.
We have a mishap.
So you got a mishap. So give me a D66 roll, please.
Did you want me to make my keep watch roll?
He needed a space in between.
Thank you. I hadn't noticed.
What was that?
Do you want me to make my keep watch roll?
Sure.
So if anything does happen, I'll see what.
Well,
happens.
what do you bloody know?
Double one.
As good as
Interesting.
it
An
gets.
interesting role in the in a forest.
It's either good or bad, right?
So you're walking towards the edge of the forest. There's a little bit of a clearing. The ground looks like a little bit sandy. There's some kind of fallen leaves covering it, and the ground gives way under your feet. It's quicksand. You've walked into an area of quicksand. You are completely stuck and must roll might to escape. And we're gonna say, I'm gonna say that Kark and Key are caught
Yep.
because they're the ones kind of in the lead, scouting and leading the way.
Does my scouting actually allow me to spot that before it happens, or?
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I'm about
Hold
to
on.
roll might if I'm getting.
Is
any
this a
help.
mishap rather than
Okay.
like a danger from the hex, if that makes sense?
So,
Okay.
so we're kind of like right behind them, right? As this is sort of happening, they get like ahead of us, and Arlek is like, "Oh, hold on, then," and he gets his rope because he has rope, and start tying it around Greta, and throw one end in toward the others.
Donkeys are the tractors of fantasy.
Yeah, hold on now. Gotta get you. If I'm allowed to do this, this is what I'm doing. I want to help get them out.
Are you
With
trying to
Greta.
do a Scottish accent?
Nope.
Do you want me to do Do you want me to do a Chicago accent?
I can't even do a Chicago accent.
I've seen The Wire.
And I'm not trying to do a Scottish accent. But if it sounds like that, I apologize. It's all over the place.
Matt, did you say it's a might roll?
It's a might roll to get out.
Okay, so do I get any help dice?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just rolling
Yeah.
4 base dice.
So I'm gonna allow you to have a help dice from the donkey if you're grabbing onto the rope, and you're gonna get a gear dice from the rope. If the gear dice, you can push this. If you push it and the gear dice comes up with a 1, the rope breaks.
You
So
you
it's
break my rope. We're gonna
so I
have
don't
issues.
get an extra skill dice, but I do get 1 extra.
You do. You do
gear
get 1
dice,
extra
right?
skill dice from the donkey
Skill
pulling
and a
you.
gear.
From the help. Okay.
So 1 skill,
Cool.
1 gear dice for you using the donkey.
And I'm leaving.
Well,
Greta. Come on, Greta.
You can push
Shit.
it, and you can push it if you want. You'll get a willpower point, at least 1 for that.
Yeah, I gotta try.
Okay.
Oh man, it's gone so
So-
much worse.
so
So
the-
much worse.
You've like you're trying to pull yourself out. You kind of slip back in.
jeez.
You take 2 damage to your
Ooh.
strength. In addition, you get 2 willpower points. So make sure to note those down on your character sheet.
I hate
Um,
quicksand. I hate quicksand so much.
It says if you fail, you suffer 1 point of damage to agility as well. So we're gonna mark that down as
Great,
well.
So I guess I'll mark
And
that
you
too.
get and
Yep.
you are allowed to roll again, and you must roll again.
Right, so I will. Well, seeing as he's using Greta, I'll just try and get myself out to start with.
Yeah, so you do that first. Yeah, we'll do this kind of simultaneously.
Fine.
All right, you've managed to pull yourself out.
Mhm.
Right, Harry, you got to do another might roll.
Yep.
And this
Shall I
time
do
it's
it just
minus
raw
2.
might, or do I get the modifiers?
You get the same. You get the same modifiers. You get the.
Will help
Okay,
you.
cool.
But you do have only 2 strength at the moment because of your. because of
Oh yes,
pushing.
yes, of course.
Key, you all right? Come over here, help with the donkey.
Yep.
You want to push it?
This isn't going well at all. If I hadn't any luck, it would be bad luck.
You gonna
Come
push
on,
it?
cock, pull.
You gonna push it?
I mean, I guess I have to, don't
Otherwise,
I?
you're gonna take another agility
Um,
damage. You don't have
He
to.
might jump back in to go and rescue you.
Oh god.
Oh, we've lost our goblin.
I'm gonna.
I think I'm about to die to quicksand ignominiously.
Can I tie that rope from that donkey and jump into the
Um,
quicksand to grab?
I-
Carl?
think
Ed's
that's-
Ed's
is that
watched
it for your
Princess
strength?
Bride.
I think that's it for your
Yep.
strength, right?
Yeah, my strength is out.
So here's
Wow.
a question:
Yeah.
Can I can Greta have a last ditch attempt to pull broken back out of the quicksand?
His agility's down as well.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Say that again. You're gonna have.
I want to know if my donkey can still be pulling on this rope that Park
No.
is holding onto.
She's been pulling on it
Yeah.
while he's holding onto it, and
All
as soon
right,
as
I
he's
just mean it's like
as soon as
not
he's
included.
broken, he's
lose.
like his hands aren't going to be keeping grip onto the rope. So,
Oh my
he's
God.
like slipping into the quickstand. And that's when Key goes diving
Yeah.
in.
I'm going to
Hey,
take my
we've all
rucksack
seen
off,
the
throw my
never-ending
bow down,
story, right?
and I'm just going to jump in to go and grab Kark. I can't have my friend die.
Is
Hey,
this,
what are you doing?
is
Can we
this
throw
as
Olaf
sad
in
as
as
when
well?
the white horse dies?
What was that, Charlotte?
We throw Olaf and Lila in as well to help.
Make a trail,
Traction.
a rope, a human rope.
Oh.
What do I need to rescue Kark?
Wait, can I grab onto the rope? Can we form like a human chain of people on the end of this rope from the donkey, with holding onto Key with one hand, the rope on the other, while Key goes in to get the goblin? Can we do that?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll let you have the maximum of 3 helping skill dice. Ed.
Okay.
But you're gonna need a might roll to pull him out.
It's fine.
But +3.
Hang on.
Key, you got him?
But no gear dice from
+3.
the rope, because rope's actually not
Oh.
helping here. It's just to stabilize you.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all you needed. Just the one. So you managed to grab Kark and drag him out of the sand, but he's unconscious.
This is ignominious.
Oh my God.
I'll pour water in his face and in his mouth and get rid of the
So
sand and
he's
dirt and-
he doesn't actually roll on the critical tables for this. It's basically he's just broken
Lyria,
from pushing
you
himself.
know anything to do with this? Heal skill.
Well, yeah, I guess I could get him. Like, what's actually damaged on him that I can actually heal?
His strength.
You can
His agility, I
My
guess.
give him a
strength
good
is down to
massage.
0.
I don't know.
So basically,
like-
if somebody is broken,
Yeah.
you have to heal their broken status first before you can heal anything else.
Yeah, okay. I figure I would know a way to make some kind of tea from the bark of one of the trees that's in the area to help rejuvenate him a little bit.
Give him a good pat.
Yeah.
Little
Um,
massage.
I mean,
Goblin.
It's probably got a bit of like drowning.
we can
and-
do that. We can do that as sort of flavor, but it's not going to give you any. It's not going to give you any kind of gear bonus or anything like that.
Oh yeah, no, I was just looking at how to justify it mechanically, because like he's not cut, he doesn't have broken bones to set, he's just weak.
Yeah.
He's possibly like pulled some muscles or something while
Yeah,
trying to pull
he just
himself
needs a
out.
good
Or
massage.
Ingested
Yeah.
sand.
we're hand waving it a little bit. He's pushed himself beyond his ability, his raw ability. So you've got full wits because you don't have any damage, right? You slept, so you can kind of get rid of that 0 on damage.
Correct.
Goblins are not endurance sport people.
So you
Very
get
good.
a 5 and a 2. You don't have any gear. I don't think that can help. No.
Nah,
Kark's not going in any mud wrestling matches, that's for sure.
I make
There
it
you go.
worse.
I mean, you could push that too if you want. You could push your healing roll, which would give you 2 willpower points and would break your wits by 2. Would at least lose you at least 2. But basically, you've got him. That success is going to recover him to having 1 strength. He's
Yeah,
not
no,
basically
I'm
he's not
good.
broken anymore. By pushing that, you could theoretically give him more successes. Each success would count as 1 additional strength. But anyway, he's no longer broken, so he's on 1 strength.
Well, what's better in a
Oh.
fight, my wits or his strength?
If we stick him on his goat or on the donkey, does that count as him resting? For a quarter day?
Doubtful.
It
Yeah, I guess not. Not really.
because he's going to be kind of jouncing around a bit, right? The idea for resting is you're not moving. You're kind of sat.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're kind of sat somewhere, and you have time to kind of just
Chatting and-
relax and
Okay.
bouncing
I have
around
to
while you're
say
moving.
This is not a dramatic way to have been horribly injured.
Well, you're not injured. You're fine.
So the what the mishap also says is that you use the rest of you use an entire movement action to go around this quicksand. So you basically spend the entire morning, rather than moving 2 hexes, you eventually get out of the forest. You kind of get around this this quicksand, and you're no longer in the forest. But the morning is gone. It is It is now kind of noon.
I hope we don't run into any
Guessing
more of
the
those.
swamp comes out further than we thought.
Exactly, right?
And the question then is, you can kind of, as you exit the trees, you can kind of see in the distance off to your north, to your left, you can actually make out the kind of the marshes. There's a certain type of fantasy mangrove trees that you can kind of just see in the distance. We can pretend that there's a bit of a haze to the air as it's extremely humid.
Oh yeah.
That sort of thing. So you're close to the marshes. The question is, where do you want to move on the map? You want to move to the northeast? Do you want to skirt the Yeah.
I think we skirt around to the northeast and then follow the marshes, keeping the marshes on our left and the plains on our right, and make our way towards the river.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
I'm too tired to have any opinions.
Feeling up to leading the way still, or you should take over?
I can do that.
I guess my wits aren't damaged.
You're just tired. Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
exhausted.
not in a position to do a marathon.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine you're riding your goat right now, so.
Why else do you have a goat? Okay, you know what? I'll give it another crack, and hopefully it'll go much better. Just 2S. There we go. Inconclusive.
All right. Good stuff.
I swear this number generator is against me.
It does appear that way. So give me another D66 roll, please, for another mishap.
This is fantastic. I love this so much.
We don't like the swamps.
What a
Stay
great
away
game.
from the swamps.
Gosh,
61.
This feels great.
A large swarm of mosquitoes attacks you, driving you
So
crazy
appropriate.
with their bites and their buzzing. You're close to
The
swamp.
stain that swamp, isn't it?
They attack
quicksand and
with
mosquitoes.
4 base dice. So I'm gonna roll those.
What?
And it's basically
Lord,
gonna cause
how
it's
big
gonna
are these mosquitoes?
it's gonna
Is this
cause
gonna be empathy damage?
empathy damage. Yeah.
Oh god.
To basically all of you. So I'm gonna make a single roll, and it's gonna apply to everyone. All
Oh,
right.
this is where Arlick gets broken.
Finished off
So
by
here we go.
mosquitoes.
4 base dice.
I'm not unsympathetic.
Hey. All right.
All right.
Woohoo.
They're just annoying. Nobody actually gets damaged by them. Nobody your mood is not worsened by these mosquitoes.
I don't know.
Nobody's broken by this one, and you basically move kind of into this northeast sector.
Yeah.
Yeah, not mechanically speaking.
No.
I love it, Lyria.
Okay, and it's now sort of getting into the afternoon. You can actually see something ahead of you in the next hex, so to speak. There's some sort of structure that's been built along the edge of the marshes.
Oh, okay.
That's. I don't know if we want to go too deep
And
in the
by
marshes.
structure, I mean like it looks kind of like houses, maybe. Not many of them. Like you can see maybe 2, and they're quite far in the distance. You can't make out a lot of detail.
Yeah.
Might be worth our while going there to have a rest, even if it isn't strictly
It's
speaking
ruins.
friendly.
Unless that's a Saurian.
You also notice in the hex that you're in that there is a as you're kind of passing through the plains here. The grass is quite tall. You have the marshes, you keep the marshes to your left, and you do notice kind of off to your right a little ways that there has been there's a stone that's sticking out of the grass, only about maybe 5 feet high. but enough that it's kind of, a foot and a half, 2 feet sticking out of the grass. And it seems to be, as you kind of get closer to it, you're not like aiming for it, but it's kind of, you're getting a little bit closer to it as you're moving. It's appears to be quite like polished or carved to be round.
Okay.
Curious.
I'm curious. I'm gonna go and have a look.
Yeah, you head over
Spread
and
up from these mosquitoes.
yeah, it's basically, as you kind of get close to it, you reckon that it's probably a gravestone because there's a mound just next to it, about humanoid length, but actually fairly big. It's probably, yeah, something, you imagine something's been buried here, and this stone has been erected to mark its grave.
Does that have any writing on it?
Not that you can see.
And as we get close to it, Arlec's sort of playing with this pendant he has around his neck, like this reddish, brownish, metallic-looking thing.
Say again, sorry.
What's this then? Oh, I was just saying that as we're getting closer, Arlec's fiddling with this pendant that he's been wearing under his shirt.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that pendant.
Just
Yeah.
like this reddish, brownish.
You can throw it away later.
Yeah. And like, Key, what's this?
So, as you're kind of looking at it, the mound, I said the mound looks a bit bigger than you kind of would expect. That's because you're like, maybe you're kicking it slightly or something. You can kind of tell that it's it's the state of it being a little bit uneven and everything, that it's probably a cairn of rocks. And the grass also kind of slopes up. It kind of grows directly over it. It's been here for a while. But yeah, there's basically like a cairn of rocks with this strange carved grave marker.
I'm gonna
Ivan,
be
we
back
best
in a minute.
get clear of this.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. I kind of look around it, from the back of it. But there's no writing or any kind of thing, no pictures or anything interesting. It's curious, but I can't really do much else about it.
We leave. The dead
Yeah.
rest here.
Yeah, let's take off. Best left to leave the dead undisturbed.
Well, at least when they're so poor, they don't have too many nice-looking things outside. Pile of rocks means there's not much of value underneath anyway.
Always the entrepreneur, huh?
Probably not the best place for a campsite, so we'll move on a bit further.
So the question now is, you see these, like, if you continue moving to your northeast on the map, which is basically moving into the hex that's 60% marsh, that's where you can see these buildings basically. And if you want to avoid that, then you can kind of move to the southeast instead. So kind of, how do you
have to go through the marshes to get to the buildings?
Nope, they're on the outskirts of the marshes.
So maybe let's get close enough and get a better idea before we go marching right in.
Let me ask Arlek, have you been to trade with the Saurians ever in the past?
I don't think so.
Okay, I would have thought you hadn't either. But yeah, okay.
It's not impossible, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Lyria, what do you think?
Well, at the very least, let's get closer to see what we can see without committing on
Yeah.
going into the town itself or whatever this
That's
is.
right.
Okay, I'll go and scout ahead then, in that case.
Okay. We're technically entering a new hex as well, so we're going to need another lead the way roll.
All right.
Okay. Do you want me to lead the way?
I'm sure Cock's up to this one. And he's muted.
He's muted.
Third time is not a charm. That's a lie that people tell you to justify their misunderstanding of statistics.
Now, if you want, I can lead the
It's
way.
true.
I'm like, it's going to willpower point and we'll automatically succeed.
I want more mishaps. I want to see how much damage I can mount on my character.
Let's see how many people we can kill just from failing
Traveling.
Yeah.
Traveling, leading the way rolls.
This is actually very fun for me. I'm very excited.
You're a sick motherfucker, Eric.
I know.
Also, as you're entering this new hex, and the days wearing on, the sky starts to what's the term? It becomes overcast. It becomes
Yeah,
overcast.
it's dark.
Clouds start rolling in, and you can hear in the
Alright.
distance. You can hear a little bit of a rumble.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right, let's do this.
Look around.
What
Looks
did I
like
tell you,
Scotland.
Harry?
Lilla pipes up. She's been kind of quiet most of the day. She's just been kind of. She's been contemplating things. You reckon she's probably not too. Well, Olaf and her haven't been too talkative. Probably not super happy about. Oh God, what was her name again? The
Garmelda.
Sorry.
Garmelda.
Being killed by the Saurians. And Arlek will know that Garmelda was kind of like a mother figure to a lot of people on the caravan.
She was, yeah.
Anyways, but Lilla pipes up and says, if there's gonna be a storm, I hope we're heading to those houses up ahead. Hopefully they're friendly, and we can get in some shelter.
I hope so too, Lila.
Do you want to lead the way?
Don't imagine I've ever been so tired.
Do I want to lead the way?
Mm-hmm. Or do you want me
Yeah.
to do it?
I thought we had already agreed that you were going to do it. But
Holy
Yeah.
shit! Yeah, the dice are definitely not in.
Hey, Carl, look, this is how you do it.
shit in your shoes.
All right.
Not again.
Standard revenge.
And you move into the next hex. The day also progresses. We're now in kind of just approaching evening time as you've moved 2 hexes this round. Yeah. So you see up in the distance. We're gonna actually. You see basically a some shacks. What look like shacks. Just a handful of them, like 4 or 5 shacks, on the edge of the marshes. And you're kind of approaching from the kind of southwest of these shacks. And none of you really know a lot about the Saurians, because you've just like rumors and stuff, but you certainly never heard of people like living near them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to uncover a map, and if you go up a level, so do you know how to go up a level?
Nope.
If you open the panel, that like hamburger panel on the left, and then there's like a little up and down arrow on either side of the video camera. Hit the up arrow.
Oh yes, got it.
And then takes you up a level, and then scroll down a bit.
Oh yeah, yeah, got it.
If you look in the bottom left corner of that map,
Yeah,
we've got
Ooh.
the whole party.
Us.
Yeah, I can't find where this is.
love it.
So what you can see a little bit ahead of you is basically on the edge of this swamp here are some buildings, and as you're approaching, somebody steps out of the first building ahead of you, which if you look at the kind of the map as you're heading straight forward, like straight ahead, the kind of building on the left with the kind of the thatch, and the person is a human. It's a woman, and she has a huge head of like light brown hair that has been done up in this really fancy hairstyle, like all braided. It's like braided, like several braids, and it's been kind of wrapped up and made into this almost looks like a hat from a distance, but when you get closer, you can see that her hair has been just kind of very fancifully arranged. And
Wow.
she kind of stands near the hut with this, like, crosses her arms as you're approaching, and as she sees that you're a group of, you're not like raider, you're not like, drawing weapons and things to attack. She kind of, you see a smile break across her face.
Yeah.
It's still kind of far for like conversing distance, but yeah. What do you want to do?
I look at Lyria. In fact, then I look at Arlek.
Yeah.
Don't you do this sort of thing?
Yeah. I can.
The guy with tons of empathy, right?
Hey. Usually.
Down to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Lyria, what do you think? You go say hi?
Yeah, we can.
Oh,
I'll
well,
kind of.
thank you for your permission.
Yeah, no, come with me. Let's go talk to him.
All right.
So, are just the 2 of you gonna go then?
Yeah, I'll
Greta-
keep the other ones back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Greta
so go ahead and
Toe.
move. Go ahead and move your tokens up the way
I
a little
can
bit.
Move my token up.
I think so. You should be able to.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Yeah.
And you'll notice
How
that Kark is actually riding a goat.
Yes. Oh, you're
Where's
up.
Arlek going?
You can't see it so well because he's actually literally on top of a goat, but he is atop a goat. Greta's there as
Hey,
well.
Hold on. Come on, Greta. There we are.
Oh, you're bringing Greta too. Okay.
Good
Oh,
old
yeah.
nanny goat.
That's it fosters trust if they see that you're good with animals.
Right. Okay. If you say so.
What kind of?
Right.
What are you doing?
So-
yeah, and as we get closer with Greta, I'm like, good day.
Hello. Welcome to Lagoon Point, the
Lagoon.
finest trading site in these marshes. In fact, the only trading point in these marshes.
Is
I
that
was
a
just going to
fact?
say.
My name is Gelda, and I would love to invite you into our small village here and hopefully do some trade. Please come in,
Well.
make yourselves welcome. Are you here to trade?
Well, I don't know. What do you say, Lyria? Do we have anything we want to trade with these fine people?
Well, we could take a look to see what we have, but in the meantime, would you have anywhere where we can shelter for the night? We've been in the forest for days, and it was a bit of an awful situation. We have some
Yeah.
wounded with us that we need to get kind of mended
Well,
up.
And
If-
I look at the storm incoming. I'm like, yeah, some lodgings is something we certainly like to trade for.
The rain is just starting to kind of pitter down, and she kind of looks up at the sky, shakes her head, and then she pointedly looks behind you on the planks. And as you follow her gaze, you realize that you have tramped a ton of mud up the wooden planks. It is filthy muddy around here. There's mud everywhere, and she shakes her head and she says, "This mud, just."
I am
She
so
puts-
sorry about
She
that.
puts her hand around your shoulders, Lyria, and she says, "I try everything I can to keep this mud out of our village. We have our village lifted on these wooden planks, and everything we do, we just can't keep it out.
Tracks more mud, am I right?
Please come in, but please take your boots off at the door." And she kind of opens the door to the kind of the hut or the house, whatever, the shack nearest to you, and there's like a nicely stacked set of wooden clogs that are very clean near the door, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
grabs a pair for each of you and hands them to you. "Please wear these when you're inside the house. I have many pairs inside each of the houses for anyone who comes. We like to keep the mud out. The mud must stay out of the houses. Otherwise it would
Well-
just be barbarous."
Yeah,
Yep.
we don't want that. You mind if I tie up Greta out here? Obviously indicating my donkey.
It might be better to actually put her inside a she, you said. Yes.
Yep.
To put her inside one of the houses. We have I don't want to scare you, but we have a slight pest problem.
Oh, is that a
So
fact?
do I.
slight. It's a big pest. We're not
Other
sure.
landers typically are.
Something is coming at night and well, stealing things.
Well, we might want to have a conversation about that. And like I sort of wave over at E and Kark and like come this way. And which building is she suggesting I bring Greta to?
So it looks like the G-Tove has fallen over and isn't sinking properly because Greta's still back at the other side. Or like your token isn't able
I
to
had
move.
moved her, but there she is.
Okay. So basically the house that you're right next to the left of you.
Okay.
That's where you're at.
All right.
She basically also says, "Are your companions going to come with us too? I see you have a goat. It's quite a large goat."
Yeah, well, we do. I just come over. I'll be like, "Key, Kark, get over here."
Mm.
And that little house nearest to you, just to make this easy, it will be it's kind of like a storeroom that is empty at the moment, and she says you can put your animals inside there.
Yeah.
This one with the kind of bluish roof.
Can somebody move my icon for me, please?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Got it. And
And I'll disentangle you if I can. Detach. There she is.
and yeah, if there's nothing
Nanny.
in there that looks dangerous or anything, I'll just
Edible.
tie Greta up.
I've got a goat. You have to be aware of these things.
leave my boots near Greta and then go find some nice logs.
Just
All
leave
right.
your boots like reasonably far away from Nanny, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I
So-
take my boots off, I'd just like to take a minute to go and get an armload of like rushes or something. Like just
Sure.
something.
Sure. I mean,
Like the
Clean
goat.
them off.
no problem. You can. I mean, there are rushes everywhere. There's it's a
Yeah.
swamp. There's these like kind of mangroves that are growing around. There are reeds and rushes and everything kind of around. I also have to point out that it's starting to rain fairly heavily now.
Have we seen any other people around?
You haven't yet.
Okay.
And as I said, as you can see from the map, there are only a handful of buildings here. And she's quite keen to kind of rush you inside. In fact, when Kark, when you go rushing off to look for some rushes, she's kind of like, "Oh, where's the goblin going? Where's that goblin going? He's gonna get all muddy."
Actually, I think he wants to help with your mud problem.
Does he? By getting muddier?
He said
I'll-
something about rushes. I don't know.
Must be some
He works in mysterious ways.
must be some goblin technique. I'm open to anything to try and solve this mud problem. Just
Yeah.
tell him to beware of tentacles. And then she rushes inside.
Yeah. And I give Key a funny look, and then I follow her because
Yeah,
I'm not in
I'll-
the rain anymore.
I'll go in as well. And
I've got a sneaky feeling I didn't hear that.
ma'am,
Up to you. If you wanna
Well,
play it, then
there's
you can
rushes
hear it.
all over the place. I imagine I'm not going far.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look, you can just go straight ahead. If I move your character piece, like if you move straight ahead to here, then off to the right, there's a little there's like a little ladder going down into the kind of marshy bits, and there's rushes and reeds, kind of as you can see, growing alongside the water. So yeah, you can definitely do that. You're not going far. You're not like wandering.
So, Gelda, ma'am, if you don't mind me asking, what's this about tentacles and strangers at night stealing things?
Okay, well, Lagoon Point, this village I'm trying to establish, is fairly new. It's only been here for a couple of years, and it's the. Have you traded with the Saurians before? Any of you?
No.
I'm
We
afraid
traded
not.
blows.
I was about to say that.
Ah, okay. Well, that's actually good. This is exactly why Lagoon Point is here. Lagoon Point is intended to be a bridge between the Saurians and the rest of the world. The Saurians have a very interesting way of dealing with other kin, and they have certain ways about them that people don't fully understand. And I understand that. I've traded with them for a very long time, and I made the decision to set up this outpost near to where they have their outpost set up for trading, and again, I act as a go-between. I deal with the Saurians, I trade with them, and I trade with anybody coming through who wants to trade. And that way, the Saurians have a bit of peace. They have someone who they know and they can trust to work with them, to trade with them, and I can do the same. I have a working relationship with them, and nobody has to be worried about offending the Saurians or ending up in one of their cauldrons for lunch. Not that has ever happened, of course.
Of course not. Geld, I appreciate your enterprise and state of mind.
Lilla is nodding as well. And she kind of turns and starts whispering to Olaf. Yeah, Gelda then says, so there aren't many of us here. There are 10 of us. Well, there were 10 of us. But in the last few days, two of my companions have gone missing. And
is that a fact?
We had some livestock. We had some chickens and we had some goats. They've all been taken as well. And one of my workers has said that he is convinced he saw tentacles disappearing into the water when we lost our last goat yesterday.
Just how close to Lagoon Point are you seeing these tentacles?
Well, he says it was just on the well, it's raining right now, but and just to punctuate her words, a loud peal of thunder rolls across the sky. Well, it's just you can't really step out right now because of the rain, and you'll just get wet and muddy.
Of course. But
just the water is relatively deep in places here, and something could theoretically swim through this swampy ground almost up to this very house. And he says that he saw the tentacle essentially just outside of this house. She kind of gestures to one of the walls, the northern wall, on the other side of this wall, in fact.
Okay.
This is fine.
Well, the first time we heard about it, in fact, after we saw the tentacle, I went straight to my Saurian contacts to do a little bit of trade with them. That was the premise. I didn't actually have anything new to trade with them, but I needed to talk to them, and they will only see me if I'm trading, of course. And I asked them if they knew of anything with tentacles that lives in these marshes, and told them that we have been losing livestock. And I was a little bit concerned, a little bit upset, I have to say, that they just laughed and seemed to find it very funny. And they wouldn't really answer my question about what might be out there. Now, I've dealt a long time with Saurians, and I know they have a strange concept of might and strength and being able to survive the rigors of the marsh. And I half suspect that this thing is possibly a test to see if I have what it takes to stay here. Maybe. I have no reason to back this up, but you seem like a decent lot, and honestly, it doesn't look like you have much to trade. So, in return for you staying the night here and resting in Lagoon Point, maybe you can help deal with this problem.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Perhaps we can.
I'm so happy to hear it. Well,
I know that cock over here, he's handy. He knows a few things about wild creatures of this world. I think we might be able to help.
Kark is also swaying on his feet, I imagine.
It is time for me to go to bed.
Thump.
He'll be all right come the morning. I promise.
The nice thing about villages is that you don't need to make camp or any of that kind of gubbins. So yeah, there are, as you can see from the map here, we have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of huts. Well, six huts, and a few outbuildings. And there are 8 people who live here. Several of them, a few of them are couples. So yeah, there basically is there are 2 huts that are kept free for visitors who come.
Sure.
They don't quite have a tavern. They kind of would like. She kind of explains as she's kind of showing you. She takes you outside into the rain, and kind of quickly rushes you to one of the empty buildings and basically says they hope in time to actually have a proper tavern, but they can only start so big, and yeah.
I immediately like this place.
If it's all the same to you, ma'am, I think I'll keep an eye on Greta and Nanny over the night.
Hey, it's not like you need sleep or anything, is it? Or
I have a blanket. Fine.
no, it's you actually have the
Oh, that's right.
sleepless condition as well. You've
Kark has my blanket. Never mind.
and
It's
you have
okay.
you have gone a whole
I
day.
think I only
without
borrowed
sleep,
it for
so
a couple of hours.
Well, you're not. Yeah. Okay.
How does this work again with going a second night without sleep? Because I think you start taking some sort of damage, don't you?
I take another point of wits damage.
Yep.
Man,
Each
I
day.
need to get a blanket and some trousers.
So what's your wits damage at currently?
I'm at 2 wits.
Right. So if you're okay,
Out of
all right,
3. I'm fine.
all right. You're gonna right, yeah, okay, you're fine. Sure. You're starting to. I mean, you're gonna be great if, in the case of hunting a monster when you're starting to hallucinate.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool. Role playing gold, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you are all taken to this on the north edge of the village. There's I'll just move all your tokens over there. Arlek, you're staying with the animals, you said, right?
That's right.
So Kark has found reeds and rushes, and what were you gonna do with them exactly then? She's kind of curious to see what your plan is, or what your
And I was pretty
mud
much.
solution is.
It was never intended to be a mud solution.
Okay.
It was intended to be a leave these with Nanny and Greta,
Oh.
so that they don't try and chew on any assorted things that that goats are well known to chew on, like
Yeah.
clothings and such
Like
forth.
thatch in the roof.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
a good
I thought
idea there,
I thought it
Kark.
might
Thank
be
you.
part of being a reasonable house guest to not let your livestock chew on the infrastructure.
I mean,
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I'm staying with them, I'm actually a pretty good at animal husbandry. That's kind of my thing.
So
Yeah.
cool.
I mean,
That's fine.
Also, fresh rushes on the floor does not hurt in the case of assorted animal manures.
But she when she realizes what you're doing, she looks a little bit crestfallen because she had assumed that you had some sort of mud solution for her. But she
You
also
gotta
nods
think
at the
about it,
wisdom.
don't you, lady?
She also nods at the wisdom of what you're doing and is appreciative that there won't be any animal mud inside of this house or it'll
No,
be easier to
man,
clean up
we'll
afterwards.
Yeah, don't worry. Arlek will
good
show you
care.
the Alderlander mudslide later.
Right. Okay. So you can pass the rest of the night then in all of you can sleep. Apart from Arlek, who's keeping watch. And at one
Actually, my plan was to go back to my knitting overnight.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Well,
I want to get this done. I want to get the tailor talent. Arlen wants to do this.
so we're in
That's
the
how
evening.
he's dealing with his depression.
We're in the evening
Oof.
kind of segment of the day. And we'll just say that if you're all happy to, other than Arlek, to sleep through the night to recover all of your, definitely
So
Kark
happy.
is going to want to do
Amazing.
So happy.
that. So Arlek's not, but otherwise, and I guess everybody else was full anyway. So I guess the question goes back to Lyria and Key. Are you wanting to sleep? Because you take the sleepless condition if you don't. But you could keep watch, for example, if you wanted to see if anything's going to happen at night.
I'll sleep.
Yeah, I think the fact that there's a fresh bed for the first time in probably about a week, maybe a week and a half. Yeah, I'd be happy to kind of rest and sleep, trying not to sleep too deeply if I can hear Alex suddenly scream because being attacked by some tentacles.
I think I'm hallucinating from sleep
Yeah.
deprivation.
Oh no. I never thought
Um,
about hallucinations.
let's have a roll from Orlek first for
Yeah,
his sewing, his crafting.
Nocturnal
tools.
shenanigans.
And so I'm spending that extra quarter day doing it for the evening and the night. So I'm gonna do 2s 1t. Okay, let's just get this done. Here we are. Oh no, I didn't. Oh, big drama. Yes,
All right. Cool.
I made rags.
You made rags.
Mark, you're dressed. You're protected from the cold, but you have a minus to your manipulation. I apologize. That's the best we can do. And Matt, my question is, can I use that as counting as practice for getting the tailor talent? Can I spend 3 XP on that, please?
Yeah, I think so. Let me just double check that. So this is more for everybody, because again, this is an actual play meant to be explaining how the rules work. And if you're taking a new talent in this game, so all the talents have 3 ranks to them, 3 tiers to them. And if you want to progress an existing talent to tier 2 or to tier 3, you just need to spend the XP on it, and that's that. If you're taking on a new talent, then there are some additional rules for that. And yeah. So basically, I'm just trying to find the bit in the page number, sorry, which is I think at the end of the character chapter. Developing your character. It is basically a wits roll. I just wanted to read it from kind of what it said there, but I can't find the page at the minute.
I am heavily sleep deprived, so it would be like 1 die. But yeah. Talents to increase your rank in a talent by 1 step, cost number of blah XP.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Also requires quarter day of practice and successful wits roll.
So learning a new talent costs 3. Yep. Quarter day of practice, which you've done, and a successful wits roll. Yep.
So let me try the
do that,
wits.
which is pretty damaged at the
1.
moment.
Hey.
You're at 1, are you?
Yep.
Oh yeah, of course.
Boom.
Holy shit. Okay.
Well, what do you know?
All right.
It's almost like he had a 1 in
Hey.
6 chance.
Yeah. All right. So you've learned successfully. We'll say like you managed to finish making those rags, and as a result, you have learned how to be a tailor. So you can take the
Maybe
tailor
I can
talent.
repair things in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're in business.
Sure would be nice to have a, functioning set
Now,
of clothing.
with your 1 wits, can you also give me a scouting roll, please?
Oh yes, absolutely.
And do you have any ranks in scouting?
I do not think so.
Okay, so give me a negative dice, alongside that as well.
Ooh, I take that back. I have 2 in scouting.
Okay, so you get 1 because there's no moon because of the cloud cover. It's also raining heavily, so it's not easy to hear things. There's the occasional rumble of thunder. So yeah, you're gonna take a -1 to this roll. So you get a one base and 1. Oh, you get a 6. You're just finishing sewing this together, and the doorway to this hut is kind of there's like hanging reeds that doesn't have like a proper door, and you just notice that I guess you've got something lit as well, like you've got a candle or something in there.
I imagine, yeah. I have my torches.
Let's
Maybe
roll.
they had like a candle.
Let's roll for your torches. Actually,
Sure, yeah, let's do that.
it's a resource, so I think you've got D6 right on that.
A D8.
Oh, D8, right? Okay.
Okay,
So it goes down to a D6. So you're like, I guess the way to say this is like you've been using your torches. In fact, you probably should have rolled the night before as well, because at night, there would have been a campfire.
I mean, maybe
while you're
they
making
had a
camp.
candle or something. But
Yeah,
I'm happy to roll
you've
it.
been using your torches to, like, you need the light to make sure that you can get this thing sewn. And by the light of the now guttering torch, you notice a dark, slimy shape kind of come through the doorway, and at first you think it looks like a snake, as it kind of curls in the doorway, except that it's it's getting wider. Like the point that's coming in comes to a point, and it's getting thicker and thicker the further out it gets from the reeds.
It comes in the houses.
It's coming in the shack that he's in. He's not in a proper house. You have a proper door on yours, but not where he is.
All right. Yeah. And so seeing this, I could probably blink at it for a second. Yeah, like as you say, it's just coming in, getting bigger. I'm like, Greta, you see that? And as I'm saying that, I'm reaching for my sword wherever I left it on the ground near me, probably. And I sort of like I pick it up off the ground and it makes that like metal sliding against wood sound as I'm like lifting up. And I'm like, all right.
The thing doesn't like seem to acknowledge the sound. Again, there's quite a lot of kind of background noise going on. So yeah, you can take a kind of a free swing at it if you want.
Yeah, I think I would yell first, like try to get everyone's attention that I can. Be like,
let me roll an actual dice here.
All right.
What does your what does your shout of alarm sound like?
I rolled a 6. Which was for me to determine whether or not a peal of thunder goes off at the same time.
Ooh, I like that.
So you just as you shout,
all right.
There's the thunder, a peal of thunder, and your shout is lost in the noise. You're well aware.
All right.
Because it's more like it's also like a yelp, kind of, I imagine, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to have a hack at the end of this tentacle thing, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And hopefully, in all this commotion, Greta starts kicking the wall or something, as a donkey would do if it panicked. All right, great. Should I roll?
How do you know so much about donkeys?
Because that's what I do.
Give me a melee roll.
Okay.
And because the thing's not trying to get away from you or anything, I'll let you have like a +1 to this roll as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Because it's just like it doesn't seem to be aware of you. It just seems to be probing around.
All right.
I saw War of the Worlds. I know what this looks like.
Ooh,
oh wow.
Ooh.
You are trying to blink sleep away. You haven't slept in 2 days.
Oh, I don't know. I don't. Ooh, do I want to push it? I don't want to push it. I'd like to get some willpower. I want to push it.
Push it.
Yes. So I take a point of strength damage and I like yell at it. I'm like, get on out of here.
And your sword bites down and severs this thing, whatever it is. Like chops it, like not in half, but chops the end of it off. And the end of it is kind of writhing around inside the hut.
Yeah,
about
the
a foot
that I chopped off. I'm gonna like kick it across the room.
Okay. As you do that, and Nanny Goat basically sees the movement and bends over and picks it up in her mouth. As the stump of whatever you chopped off goes out of the room, and you hear a kind of a strange sound, like a. And you can actually hear now that there's no thunder and having caused a bit of violence, you can hear like the wooden panels that make up the walkway kind of creaking.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Like, Annie, get that out of your mouth. You drop that right now.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just watching the door to see if more stuff comes in and being alarmed, I think, at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna keep this in a kind of narrative frame at the moment.
Yep.
I don't want to start rolling initiative or anything just yet.
All right.
So yeah, you're kind of waiting, and you hear the creaking on the wood a bit more. Another peal of thunder goes off.
Yeah. And
you think you might be able to see in the flash of lightning that goes off, accompanied by the thunder, that there might be some bulk of something just on the other side of the reeds, outside of the the only door to the shack you're in.
Yeah. So if I had
you hear a from behind you.
Good. Oh.
You turn your head very briefly, and you can't see the tentacle, and Naniko is licking her lips.
Damn it, Nanny.
You didn't get a good chance to see what it was.
Yeah.
And in fact, just at this point, your torch goes out
Oh, yeah. I was just about to grab that. Okay.
because you did roll it and it depleted before. So we're gonna
It
say
did,
that
it did.
happens
Alright.
right now in
Yeah.
a nice opportune moment.
All right. So, like, yeah. How's Greta reacting to all this?
Greta's just completely nonchalant, just kind of not sleeping, just kind of watching you. Doesn't like you've like hacked at something on the floor. It kind of made her made her start a little bit, but now she's just like, okay.
She's very chill with lightning. Okay.
Yeah,
Greta, Greta, you start kicking that wall. You start kicking that wall. And as I say that, I'm gonna go over toward the entry of the door. So I'm kind of like standing next to it. Can I roll like animal handling to convince Greta to
I was
start
gonna ask
kicking
for
the
that.
door?
Sure.
Great.
Kicking the
Let's do
door?
that. No, kicking the wall.
The wall, yeah, okay.
I'm going by the door.
Yeah, okay.
I'm misspeaking is what's happening
So
right now.
looking at the map, which wall is do you want her to kick?
Yeah, so we'll say Greta's in the very back, and so I want her to kick the wall that is to the northeast, I guess.
Okay,
And
so
I'm going like here. Yeah.
so basically
plan.
I'm just gonna move you like Nanny goes off to the side, Greta kind of
Yeah.
comes into the corner there. They're staying at the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And you want her to kick the back. All right, so give me an animal handling
yeah.
roll to see whether you can convince her to do that.
All right, let's see if how my awesome wits damage helps me here. Okay. So my animal handling is 3. So we still have 5 dice. It's not bad. Oh, doing this. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. I'm going to push it because panicking right now would make a lot of sense. Okay, no, just another point of
You're
damage.
racking up the willpower points too.
Yep. Like, Greta, you start kicking that wall. Make some noise. And she's just ignoring me. Just like, she's probably eating one of the reeds, of course. And I'm like,
Where's my foresight?
Nanny, come on. One of you. Help! All right.
You took 1 strength damage as well, didn't you, from the
I did. Yeah, I
the
put
attack?
that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm updating the little tracker on the tabletop too.
I'm up to 7 damage now total. I'm so happy. This is great. I just want to keep pushing this. All right. What happens?
All right, I think we're gonna move quickly into initiative mode. And of course, I don't have my cards with me, typically.
Just think, Harry. When you find my body, you'll find a nice set of rags. Well tailored.
I'll get your boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
It's
a
a
nice
win.
sword too.
It's a win for me.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
do.
you can have his pack animal too.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
So
Greta will
the
remember me.
the animals are gonna move on your turn, whenever that is. They don't get a separate
Mhm.
initiative card. Let me just shuffle these quickly. All right, and we've agreed that the way we're going to do this in future is that I'm going to just draw a card. So
Yep.
off the top for
Interesting.
you get a 7,
All right.
and
Not the
for
worst.
whatever's on the other side of that door gets a 3.
Of course.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Not
gonna.
much I could do anyway.
I'm gonna say the first thing that happens is that you're convincing Greta to kick the wall first, like kind of coaxing her,
Yep.
talking to her, showing her how to do that, and that's when the initiative starts. Is when she actually does kick the wall.
She knows the command kick.
Yeah. The problem is like she kicks it kind of once, and as soon as you move away, she stops kicking, which is the result of failing that animal handling roll, right? So
Yeah.
she's not like broken through the wall or anything. She's just given a solid kick.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And
She's not
that's
supposed to break it.
that's when something pushes through the reeds of the doorway. And
Oh, no.
all you can see is it's not quite your height. It's probably like 4.5 feet tall in bulk, but it's this massive something gelatinous almost, with tentacles whipping off of it as it pushes into the room.
Ooh, lovely.
And it strikes out at you, and it's dark, right? The light has gone
Yeah.
off. You're just making out the shape of this thing.
I hope it can't see in the dark like I can.
So you're
I think
only
it sees by touch.
vaguely able to see this thing as it's happening. And we'll say the only
Yeah.
reason you can see it right now is because of the lightning going off outside.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, it has the light silhouetting it from outside.
Right, exactly. Although it's not like constant thunder. We'll say as soon as it goes through the door, just in a dramatic moment, lightning and thunder go off
Yeah, yeah.
as you see it
Like
pushing through. And
like
its tentacles whip out to attack you. So I'm making a monster attack here for people who are wondering what I'm doing. And the way this works, this is a different type of combat to what we've had previously in episode 2, actually, which was fighting technically other kin, right? When you fight monsters, the rules are slightly different. And the first thing to note is that all monsters have a set of 6 attacks, and you can either just pick one, or you can roll randomly to see which attack they're using. And in this case, I'm actually going for a random attack. It makes no sense in this instance, so I'm gonna look at one next to it. And yeah, this tentacle, one of the tentacles wraps around your body and
Can I dodge?
and ensnares you. You can try and use the dodge action definitely to get out of the way. Do you want to throw
would
yourself onto
totally-
the
Oh
floor?
yeah. I'm out of here. Yeah.
You're throwing yourself on the floor.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Hoping it doesn't have another attack in the same round. Let's see. Okay. I did it again. Okay, that's one. Take it.
Okay, so the tentacle kind of you feel something slimy just starting to touch your body. You throw yourself to the ground, and it kind of it doesn't manage to grab hold of you. However, it gets to go again.
Oh,
Are you
that's
screaming
tricky.
or anything as a free action?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, 'cause you haven't said you
it's
were.
not my-
You haven't said
it's
you
not my
were.
turn yet. It's not my
Yeah,
turn
but
yet.
but you haven't said anything about screaming or anything. So we'll say you haven't screamed yet because you haven't said it. Maybe you didn't want to attract it into the room. Let's say.
I mean, I feel like I was just yelling help.
Now,
a few minutes
I
ago.
think it's fine. Like, even though it's not your turn, I consider like shouting and screaming and stuff to be free actions. As it's trying to
Yeah.
throw a slimy tentacle around you,
Yeah.
I'm quite happy
It
for you to
definitely
start
feels like I'm
screaming
yelling
bloody
help.
murder. And none of you are keeping watch, so I want all of you in that other room to give me a scouting roll
Oh,
at a
yes.
-1 because there's a lot of other noise going on, and you're sleeping. But it's gonna go again.
Yep. Let's do it.
I might kill you here.
Yeah, you might.
Bollocks.
Rest in peace. In pieces,
Arse.
Arlick. Whatever it is surges forwards, and you feel tentacles wrap around your shoulders as it is basically
they're
trying to throw the bulk of its body over your head.
Oh man. That's
How do we
It's
roll it?
wet
Again.
and clammy and slimy, and you can feel the tentacles
Yeah.
have these like sharp little tiny hooks in them that are biting into your
yeah.
flesh.
Mm.
What's it you just said, Charlotte?
How do we roll a negative again?
You type in it's an N number, so instead of being like S, you just type in N.
And now I'm like.
And again, I know we're doing this. We're trying to do this channel to educate people on how this game works, but I also believe in rolling monster and NPC dice behind a screen, because otherwise it becomes very easy to know the stats of the thing that's attacking you, and takes a bit of the mystery away. So I'm going to be doing
hey,
that.
Matt.
Yeah,
I have 2 actions in a round.
you do.
I used 1 to dodge.
Yeah.
Can I try and dodge again?
Yeah, you're on the floor already, so I'm not actually sure how
Yep.
that works with. I think you just do it again, right?
I guess so. I mean, I'm
Guess
like
you just
rolling
have to
away.
sort of roll.
I could take a penalty to it if you want.
I'm gonna give you the full roll because I feel a bit bad that I've got a monster here attacking you all by yourself.
It's all right.
And
I
we're
did-
still sleeping.
I did telegraph it, but
You did.
you know, it's all good.
A
Go
little
on,
bit.
give me a full dodge roll.
Yep, we're doing it. Nope. Oh, wait, we can push it.
Push it, push it, push it.
Yes.
Oi!
Yes!
All right. Okay,
I am
I'm not
rolling
rolling.
on
I'm not
fire.
rolling that monster attack on you then.
It
All
wouldn't
right.
be a horror
I'm
game
rolling
if
all
we
over
didn't
this
ignore the
floor.
obvious danger.
You're not allowed to. Those of you who are rolling scouting can't push it because you're unconscious at the moment, and it makes no sense to be able to push that.
No.
Yep.
That was agility, right? It's an agility
Yeah.
move. So okay. So that goes down 1. So you're at 2 for that.
Got it.
All right. So
I don't get a
your
turn.
turn. Oh, you don't get a turn because you've used both of your actions. Correct.
That's right.
Dodge, 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 dodge.
Who's passed a scouting roll?
Nope.
None.
I
Oh!
only rolled once.
We're at a cake.
So I'm gonna basically the roll for that scouting roll is to see if you hear him initially screaming. You're gonna be waking up anyway, but I'm gonna be saying you're gonna wake up now in the following round and not this current round.
You can't tell me what to do.
However,
Danny.
you gotta pass the roll.
Wait this thing.
Minutes.
However, the noise awakens somebody else, and you hear footsteps come thumping down down towards you from somewhere outside. And it's the start of the next round. I'm gonna draw an initiative card. Oh, and I drew a 2 for your NPC help. You hear somebody swearing outside, and then something starts thumping on the back. You hear like a stick or something like smacking on the bulk of whatever's in front of you. Okay, and that's it. Its turn now. And it shifts its bulk away from you, and it's going to twist around and attack the thing that's actually physically attacking it, rather than the thing that's just kind of groveling at its feet, going, "Oh, don't grab me, please." Not that that's what you sound like right now. You're a brave adventurer, a rogue and a raider in a dangerous land, right?
Yeah. The one that is like probably thinks he's hallucinating if he didn't like already nearly get eaten. So yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, so she's being whipped by a tentacle.
So, Lyria, Kark, do you want to set up a new trading post?
Yeah, not that close to the swamp.
No.
Whatever the hell this thing is, I could do with never seeing another one.
I think we should stay away from swamps from now on.
Swamps in general are clearly bad luck, and I see why the entirety of Italy was built on hills.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear an intake of breath ah! from outside of the hut, and you recognize the voice of Gelda. It attacks again because it gets 2. It gets 2 goes. You hear it kind of. It's kind of not facing you anymore, and you hear this squelching. And there's something liquid that kind of just sprays all over your face, and kind of you feel it all over your hands as you're lying there on the ground, and you get it in your mouth, it's in your eyes. It has a taste. It's kind of tastes a bit like I don't know. Tell me what it tastes like. It's like the inside of an aquatic animal.
It tastes. Yeah, no, it tastes like.
It's not like shit. It's not piss.
Like, I think it's like.
It's a bit thicker.
I think it's like the smell of like mildew and fungus. Only it tastes like that smell. That's what I'm thinking. Only it's like thick and viscous.
With a bit of a fishy, a
little salt in
tint.
there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's my
Yeah.
go then.
It's your go. You're effectively blinded.
I am blinded. I'm gonna stagger to my feet.
Okay, that's a fast action.
Is it like an action to try and get this stuff out of my face?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's my turn. I'm getting. up
That
and
there
trying
are
to get
some
this shit
there
out
are
of my
some
face.
rags like nearby if you want to use the rags.
No, I don't know where they are. I'm blinded. I'm just using
Okay.
my shirt. I'm just
All right, so you kind of pull your
And-
shirt up and you're kind of wiping your face with it.
and like I am and
Made ink.
I'm not gonna make you actually roll for that because you're wasting an entire action to do that to try and unblind yourself, and that makes sense to me. So
yeah.
okay, you're on your
that's
feet.
my turn.
You're wiping it off, and
Yeah.
we're coming to the start of the next round. And everybody in that other hut, you can hear a commotion outside. You can hear someone shouting help, and you hear Arlek kind of like also shouting like, "What's going on?" or something, right?
No, he's like coughing and sputtering and swearing. I think is what he's doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can hear all that though in a lull between thunderclaps. So you're all lying down. So it's going to take you a fast action to get to your feet and to kind of grab your belongings, your weapons is going to basically to get to your feet and to get your weapons together is going to take an entire round.
Yep.
But let's also draw initiative cards for each of you. So which of you has the highest? We'll go with whoever has the highest agility out of all of you, which would be Kark
Okay.
Yes.
and Key.
If I hadn't suffered a bunch of agility
doesn't-
damage.
This doesn't matter too much
This is
because you
me.
can swap your initiative around. Well, we're kind of saying that everything gets healed anyway. So we'll go with Key because he was good to start off with. You got an 8.
Cool.
Kark has a 10, and Lyria has. Is it a 9 or a 6?
It's low numbers go first
It's a
in
9.
this game, right?
It's a 9. Yeah. So you guys are all going at
That's
the
right.
end. Unfortunately.
Right, we're gonna
So,
get to see this beastie ink him again.
Oh
eaten.
yeah.
So
It looks
top
like
of the
Nemo found
round.
you, buddy.
it's top of the round, and yeah, you hear from outside. You hear the voice of Goethe shouting, "Awake! Awake! Something's here! The beast is here!" And then she attacks it again with whatever she's got.
She's brave.
It's
Oh,
a frying
wow.
pan.
4 dice, and she rolled 3 6s,
Ooh.
which is pretty good.
Just
So the
Don't
way
eat us.
This is why I want to use physical dice, Matt.
The way this works with monsters have a strength stat like everyone else, but it's usually a lot higher than than PCs. And it doesn't, as it goes down, it doesn't actually reduce their attacks. Their attacks are kind of divorced from that strength stat. So monsters are handled a little bit differently. As their strength goes down, they're not any less deadly. You still have to you have to take them down. One way that I tend to play my games as well is that like any, it really depends on the situation, but any wild animal, as it takes a significant amount of damage, or if it feels like it's being outnumbered or it's being cornered, it will try and escape to survive, because that's what animals do. So, yeah, I won't say exactly what that means mechanically, but it is possible that this thing might just try and slink away without actually, before it's possibly going to die or anything like that. Okay, can you just remind me which ones you got? Kark had a 10, right?
Mhm.
Key had an 8.
I had
I had
7.
9.
And Larry had a 9, so I'm just putting this on the combat tracker here. Okay. Cool.
Can I tell my 2 companions to let's try and get the civilians clear first?
Yeah. Oh, you had a 7, didn't you? Arlek had a 7.
Yep.
So you're right at the bottom of the order. Wow.
Perfect.
Okay. Sorry.
Nowhere to go but up.
So we're top of the round here. Goethe's attacked again, and she's actually done some damage. And you hear that shriek. In fact, the only one that hears it is Arlek, because it's not super loud, but you hear this like sort of like weird squealing sound from basically from this creature, as your kind of eyes are blinking open, and then it's going to attack again. So I'm going to roll first to see what kind of attack it's going to do. Alright, and I'm going to roll these dice. Again, it's really important that I don't let you know what I'm rolling here, because it would probably scare the bejesus out of you.
I just hear a lot of dice.
Yeah, you're not that subtle.
Just
Just
lot.
hear him muttering like bollocks. Where's my other dice bag?
You hear Arlek, you hear like a thwack of something against flesh, and something smacking against the wood outside, followed by a splash of water.
Yeah.
And then the thing moves back. It kind of twists its bulk back around. And it's dark. You can't really tell what's happening. But once again, you can kind of sense that the thing is kind of coming into the building again. Greta is you can kind of sense, because you have this connection with Greta, that she's pressed her body as far back from like the entrance as she can, and she's kind of trembling. You can almost hear her donkey teeth clattering together. Nanny is just standing there, as far as you can tell, completely still. You imagine Nanny might be just watching it all with a sort of inhuman gaze, like, documenting it. And then something like shifts as it's kind of coming towards you. The bolt kind of shifts some way. You can't see anything because there's no light in here. And then you hear this kind of squelching, funny noise that's kind of half between a wet fart and you don't know what. And your body is sprayed. Like, you kind of throw your hand up out of the way, but the rest of your body is coated again in this kind of slightly thick substance. This time you only get a little bit into your mouth, but it still tastes the same. Your eyes are okay.
Yeah.
And it's your turn.
Yeah. Danny, light. And I'm going to. So there's a bulk here, right? There's not so many tentacles around me, or is more tentacles, or.
Oh, they're kind of tentacles. I mean, this thing is you can't really see much, right? So
of course, yeah.
So you're just getting glimpses, like a silhouette of it, glimpsed every now and again from thunder outside. And we'll say that there hasn't been thunder since it's turned its bulk back towards you. You just get the impression that it's turned its body around towards you.
So I think what I'm doing is, I mean, because I am no trained swordsman in any way, shape, or fashion, I'm just gonna go at this thing, like putting the point at it and jabbing. I'm gonna rush at it.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So, give me your attack roll.
I will. And all right. And I yell and shout with everything I have left because I hallucinate this abomination. And we hit it.
You gonna push that?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, you managed to you connect with something, and it's like as your sword is kind of going into some sort of flesh, it's a bit rubbery, and it kind of doesn't really, you don't get purchase. It doesn't like sink into anything like you would if you stabbed like a person or something. Not that you've ever stabbed a person, of course.
I stabbed a Saurian.
Did you stab it, or did you hit it with a stick? I don't remember. You did stab it.
I hit one with a stick, and then I killed the last one.
That's right. You did. That was you taking first blood ever in your life.
Right.
So yeah, you kind of feel like you connect with something, and you feel like you do a bit of damage. And in fact, there's like a little sound as you connect. But yeah, your sword is free. It's not like you don't have to pull it free or anything. It hasn't really. You don't feel like you've done a very deep wound or anything.
Hey, it's
and
2
then
damage on a scimitar.
Over to the other 3. We'll just say, what are you doing all at the same time rather than doing it one at a time?
Matt, is it raining outside still?
It is still raining outside, yeah.
Right, there's no point in using a bow, so I will grab my scimitar and run out.
Mm-hmm. I will pick up my axe and do the same.
And Charlotte, what's Lyria doing?
What do I have? I got my axe still, right?
You have a hand axe, yeah.
Axe, yes.
But you're not in your armor. You're not in your armor because you don't sleep in armor.
Says you.
I mean, if you want to put like, it'd take you another action to like put your chainmail on. because that's something that takes a little bit of time to do.
Yeah, no, I'll leave that as it is. I might grab my helmet and bring that with
Yeah,
me.
you can grab your helmet. Sure, definitely.
Keeps my hair out of the
I mean,
rain.
it's one armor dice, so may as well use it. That's what it's
and
there
it's
for.
a quick grab and. Whoop.
Yep.
But yeah, as we're running out, it's like, make sure I'll be telling my other two companions to make sure that the people are safe first.
Yep.
And
Hey Matt, can I roll?
You can
one
definitely roll your gear
die?
dice. I apologize, I didn't see that either. You definitely get a gear dice. for your
Bollocks to
weapon.
that.
I didn't push it. It's
You didn't
fine.
push.
Bollocks to that. My goat's in there.
So, you're all
How far can
running.
I get?
You're all running out. It's gonna take you. You can take your two full fast actions. It's gonna take you can't quite close the distance in one action because we're talking about a fair distance. But if you're running all the way there, like following the
Yep.
sound of things, you'll kind of get close. So if I kind of move, like Lilla and Olaf are absolutely, they're not armed with anything. They're absolutely not coming with you.
Yep.
I would have told him to stay there. We'll handle this.
So you're basically I don't know who wants to be first, but Lyria gets to go first technically in the turn order. So
Can
Yeah.
I go? Can I go down where the planks go down the onto
Sure.
the ground?
Yeah.
The way I was imagining it was probably where Arlik is. I don't know.
Arlik's inside.
So there's like
Yeah, about there.
there's like a ladder. There's like a little. You can see the two black
Yep.
lines if you zoom in. There's a ladder there going back up. So you can be at the
Yep,
base
that
of the
sounds
ladder, but it's going to take you an action to climb up the ladder.
Okay.
On the next
I was
round.
kind of thinking the thing was probably next to the wall thing there, so I was thinking I'll go from the other side.
Mhm.
Cool.
And
Yep,
is
that's
Kark or Lyria going to be in the front?
Front?
So like you can't quite run next to each other like you're sprinting on this pathway. So who wants to be?
Yeah, it's like a narrow thing.
Yeah.
My
You could-
guess is Lyria is not going to be very keen to be in front of me.
I mean, if we look at, I mean, it's up to you, but Lyria is capable in a fight, I believe, right?
Lyria is our wizard leader tank.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have her armor on?
No, that's true.
I would be moving along these
think
paths
she-
a little bit more carefully because they would be slick with rain. There's no light. I've got no idea what's going on, and I'm trying to keep my eyes out for the civilians. So I would be behind Kark.
You can also all of your damage is healed as well, Harry.
Oh, good.
By the way, so you're definitely the best fighter here. You've got 2 in melee, you've got a 4 in strength, and your hand
I
axe
was just
gives
thinking
you
I've got much shorter legs.
gives you a bonus of 2. So you're rolling quite a lot of dice there. Plus, you also have, because you're a fighter, you have the profession talent Path of the Blade. Now that will require you to spend some willpower points to use it, but you have 5 willpower points. So
Yeah.
if you hover over it, you'll see the text for what it means.
Thank you.
You can go ahead and definitely. I would recommend if you're attacking a monster here, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Not now. It'll be in the next
Pretty
round.
dangerous.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the next round. So okay. Anyway, you're kind of there then. So Kark's at the front. Lyria's just behind him. And we can kind of just say that you're just rounding the corner. So you can kind of, Harry, you can kind of see there's a little bit of light. You see there'll be a flash of lightning, a thunderclap as well. And you can see that there is some dark shape, some dark gelatinous blob of shape that is half in and half out of the entrance to this the shack. You don't see Goethe anywhere. And yeah, next round. It is going to attack you, Arlek, again, of course.
Yay! I'm dodging, obviously.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and give me a dodge roll. As you can kind of sense, that's that same flash of lightning from outside. You can see a kind of a tentacle come up and kind of comes flying at you.
I'm pushing that.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh wait. I'm broken
Yeah.
because I was only supposed to roll 2 base dice.
That's right.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got you. Don't worry.
Too tired.
Ready to just let the bog octopus
So
take.
you throw yourself to the floor, but it's not fast enough, and this tentacle catches you just before you reach the floor and wraps constricting around you as it's pulling you towards its body.
And I've been rolling around too much.
And you're broken.
Yep.
But you've broken yourself, so it's not actually nothing is going to happen there. However, it's going to take
agility, so I'm just exhausted.
It's going to try and swallow you.
Great. That's the best place to fight it from the inside.
So this is actually I'm attacking.
I've seen a lot of films where that's important.
All right, here we go. Actually tells me what to do here. Yeah, okay. You are devoured whole. And you suffer one instant strength damage. I'm going to take that down.
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And every time that you're inside, you're going to take another strength damage. Now from outside, it's now Lyria's turn, but I guess Kark can go first. You can swap your initiatives around if you want for free.
Sure.
Because
Sounds good to me.
So Key, are you happy for Kark to go first? Because he's right there.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we'll say Kark
Okay.
and Key's.
I'm on 9 now, or I'm on 10.
I don't know. It doesn't really. I mean, you can kind of figure out.
Doesn't
I
matter.
was
I'm
on
lost.
10.
I'm on 10 then.
And I've lost your token as well, which is
You're on
annoying.
8 then.
Anyway, yeah. Okay, so Kark, you are just seeing this thing, and then you can kind of see its body like convulsing slightly, and it gets a bit bigger. It grows in size by about like half its size again, increases.
Yeah, by about 90 kilograms. Well,
yeah, Eric, shame on you.
I didn't have any plans other than run up to it and hit it with my axe. So
now remember, you have willpower points, which we kind of neglected to tell Eric, because Eric's like the most experienced person in this game and at the table currently. But I forgot to remind you as well.
Oh no, it's fine.
So,
well,
Harry,
according to the letter
Yeah.
of the rules, I have to hit the dang thing
Yeah.
first.
you do, but you have a nice little pile of dice here to hit it, right?
That's the plan.
So
Go.
if you hit it, you can spend your willpower points to increase damage. So let's see what we do. Now, that's only a single one. Do you want to push?
That's absolute
Hold
garbage.
on. That also is skill dice. So you've done 4S, 2S. So we'll just count the first 4 there. If you want to push that, do you want to push that?
Oh, right. So it should be 4B.
Just wait. Don't re-roll it. Do you want to push that roll?
I do and I don't.
So if you want to re-roll it, then what you would do is you would re-roll 4B, 1S, 2 gear.
Yeah.
And if any of those turn up with a 1, then that's gonna count as like a damage. So it's up to you. But
You know what? I'll take that.
okay, so you've taken 2. Again, remember you get 2 more willpower points. You take 2 strength damage, but now you are able to spend to see how much damage you do. So you do base damage, which for your hand axe I believe is 2 damage, right?
That's what it says. Yep.
Yeah. So you do 2 damage to the thing anyway. But you can spend willpower points to do more. So I guess the question is, how many willpower points do you want to spend? Can you just read me what it says, actually?
Sure.
All of them.
At rank 1, you can spend a willpower point to find a weakness in your opponent's natural or artificial armor. The armor has no effect against your attack.
Right. Okay, so that's fine, because it does have armor. And that reminds me, I didn't roll for the armor. I'm just gonna roll it just out of curiosity. Yeah, I didn't roll it. I didn't roll it when you attacked it, Eric. Either time, but that's fine. Yeah, go on, Harry. What?
Oh, I was just about to ask about a weapon note, but then I remembered shortly after starting to ask.
Okay.
So I'd like to spend 2 willpower to do extra damage.
Oh, hold on. I think that's what I was just trying to look up here, though. Is that what does the rank 1 talent do? And it's to ignore armor, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not to do
It's
extra.
just-
So I suppose I can't do that.
No,
Just one
it's
willpower.
it's
So
the
if it's,
second rank, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so rank 2 allows you to do to attack again, and then rank 3 is where you get you can increase damage. Apologies.
Yeah.
So you actually have to get to rank 3 before you can do that.
You have misled me, you naughty man.
I have misled you. But you
And
still
so just
spend one willpower
and
point.
ignore
And
it,
you'd
yeah.
So
still
I
do
have
2
spent
damage.
one,
Yeah.
and still doing 2 damage, and also ignoring its armor.
So your axe comes down and like where are you hitting it? I mean, it doesn't really. You can hit wherever you want.
I mean, I'm assuming that the blob is really the only part that you can have a shot at. So
There are kind of
that's
tentacles
back
around
off.
as well, so you could like chop the tentacle off if you wanted to. But yeah, anyway.
my instinct is to say go for the blob.
Okay. All right.
Good life advice in general.
Your axe comes down and chops into the blob, and it lets out this sort of sound again, and yeah, over to Lyria or Key.
Lyria is next.
You're kind of closer, Lyria. You don't really. You can kind of just sidestep and attack this thing because it's big enough.
Is
We need to get you a spear so you can spear things over my head.
Spears are
Attack
quite
at
good.
2 ranks.
Spears are
That'd be
quite good.
clever.
yeah, maybe Eric's next character can have a spear for something like that.
I'll be a blacksmith.
Yeah. After all this time trying to work out how to be a tailor.
Yeah. I'm not dead.
Can
Fine.
I hear what was her name, Greta or whatever, or not Greta, but
Gerta.
Gilda.
Oh, Gelda.
Gelda?
Sorry. Yeah. No, you can't.
No. Is she dead?
Do I hear it go?
You don't see her. You can't see her anywhere. You can't hear her anything.
All right.
Kill it. Kill it.
How else can I not engage this thing? Yeah, I'll try to take a swipe at it.
Okay.
Wow.
With your axe. I mean, do you want to spend your willpower points on something else that you can use? Hint,
We've
hint.
done significant damage to this thing. Finish it.
I'm not going to try and get like right next to it because I don't have my armor. And I've got like an axe, kind of like a tomahawk style hatchet, so I don't have a huge reach. But I will try and get in for a little quick attack.
So,
Choppy.
according to the rules, you do have to close to within like melee distance, like reach,
Fine.
to use your axe. So, otherwise, you need a spear.
Could
You need to
throw
try
it.
and find a spear. You can. Well, no, you've got a hand axe. You've not got a throwing axe because they do.
No.
They get less of a bonus.
I'm going to keep a Kark in between me and the creature.
So this basically
Can't
the way this looks is more or less like a hand axe is more or less like a bearded axe, like a one-handed
Yeah.
axe. So yeah,
That's fair.
go ahead and give me an attack roll. Remember, you get two gear dice for the axe, plus you have 3 strength and 1 melee, right?
Yes.
So
strength,
3
1 melee.
3 base, 1 skill, 2 gear. I should have a token for this thing, but I don't want to. I don't actually. You don't. None of you've got a picture of it, so I kind of like that there's nothing there at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could push this to damage. You'll definitely damage your axe by 1 if you do push it.
No.
Okay, so you're doing 3 damage to it, though, right?
Yes.
2 base damage plus 1 extra damage. Okay, so tell me how you kill it.
Kind of push Kark down a little bit with one hand, take my axe and embed it into the skull or whatever it is that.
There's
is
no
at the top
skull.
of
There's
this.
no skull visible.
That's Alec.
It has just swallowed him from inside. But you can definitely okay, if you're aiming for the mass, then basically what you're doing is you're just like you get the.
I already made a hole in it.
Yeah, and your axe has like it's bearded, so it has like a little hook on it, and you can kind of like
Yeah,
hook it
it's
and like
like-
just rip it open, kind of.
Yeah.
Mark loosened it for you.
Is there any way I can attack this thing on the side to get in and hit whatever's on the inside?
It's like a
Oh,
bin
boy.
bag full of jelly and bones.
And feet, and legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna say that your axe kind of like just bites through the skin of whatever it is because it's quite rubbery. And as you're like ripping it open, you kind of sense. In fact, let's say that another peal of lightning and a thunderclap go off, and you see these 2 slimy feet poke out of it, as the thing expires and just collapses on the planks in front of you. We're
It's mutating. Quick, kill it.
we're just after the midnight mark of my
What?
time,
Yeah.
which is just like the 2-hour mark, which is kind of fitting.
Yeah.
So Key just gets on and goes, I'll go back to bed.
Guys, I had the weirdest dream.
And we'll do. We can deal with the aftermath very quickly now. I think for another few minutes.
Yeah.
Before we
And so I'm
stop.
agility broken, so it's probably more or less still conscious and just like. And I just kind of come out like, as I out.
Yeah. Does
I'm
somebody
just
want to? Does
groaning.
somebody want to light a torch or something?
You know, I say we burn this thing. Whatever is in it, whatever this is, let's just fucking destroy it.
Ugh,
I look around for Gelder.
cook it.
Yeah. Give me a scouting roll.
That I can do.
I'm assuming you've got like you went inside the hut where Nanny and Greta are and have lit some torches, lit one of Eric's torches, right? Arlec's torches.
Yeah, why not?
Are we aware that Gilda is missing?
Yeah, because you've been looking around for it. People have been saying like, "Do you see Gelda?" So
I'm
you did hear her
muttering.
as well. You heard her before.
I'm muttering Gelda.
What woke you up? Okay. With the success, as the torches come out, you see basically. I'm gonna just hold the button down here. You see that little indicator
Hang on.
in the water?
Oh, yeah.
You can see that there's looks like a body in the water.
Ah, shit.
I'll jump in.
Okay, you jump in, and the body is unfortunately face down, and it is Gelda. And you pull her out. You by this time, like you're kind of shouting and stuff. That obviously the danger is gone. Lilla and Olaf come running, as do a few other people. There's like 4 other people that come running, a mix of humans and halflings actually, and they're all kind of crowding around. And some of them are sobbing when they see Gelda being pulled out of the swamp. Lyria's kind of the only one who has any healing, I believe, any healing
Lyria?
skill. So
Did you do something?
Lyria has a quick look, but there's nothing to do. She was broken. So according to the mechanics, she was broken. She was thrown back into a body of water while she was basically unconscious, and she's drowned.
Like 10 seconds.
Well, no, you had to get torches
Oh,
lit
it's
and
longer.
then
Yeah, it was
find
actually a
where
couple
she
rounds.
was and then pull her out. So it's be a couple of minutes.
No, definitely.
Yeah. And this is how I roll. I usually like to kill people narratively rather than rolling dice. I'm recalling my Coriolis campaign where I killed my brother for succeeding at a dice roll, in fact. But yeah. So
6 is, oh, you're dead.
yeah. I just had to remind Charlotte about one. Yeah. So that's episode 3 done. With the lights of the torches, you're able to see that this thing is an octopus, like kind of mottled. I mean, again, it's torchlight. It's the middle of the night, so you're not 100% sure of like what coloring it is, but it's very dark, sort of colored. You can see that it's kind of mottled with kind of splotches on it and stuff. And Arlec is basically coated in black ink. Apart from where he's wiped it out across from his face, and where some of it has kind of streaked off as he's been covered in sort of the acidic juices of the inside of the creature as well.
Out of curiosity, are bog octopuses a thing that exists or used to exist in the real world?
I don't think so. It's certainly a Warhammer thing, a bog octopus. And there are stats for giant octopuses or giant octopi in Forbidden Lands, which is what I've used. So yeah, it exists in my canon anyway. There was an octopus in the
Scary.
marshes. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a fair description.
and nobody died other than an NPC, right? Someone you just basically she was wearing a
Almost Dalek.
red dress as well,
Poor Gelda.
Wearing a red dress.
red shirt. Yeah. So we'll pick this up in episode 4 and see what happens with what you want to do in what did I call this thing again? Lagoon Point.
Good point. Oleg,
And
looks
I
like you've got yourself a
weekly-
place.
Reach up to Kark. Like, You're close.
You. Thanks.
They're inside. They're fine.
Out of curiosity, do you think you can make leather out of an octopus?
Well, one of us needs a tanner talent next.
Yeah. There's only one way to find out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if Paw Patrol is anything to go by, you can make squid jerky.
I mean, you could definitely try to eat this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at the moment, basically, the people who live here are pretty disturbed that their leader is dead. They're also slightly horrified at this creature kind of lying sprawled on the planks here. But all of you survived. Your 2 pack creatures survived as well. So, yeah, congratulations on defeating your first monster. You're also relatively flush with willpower points, I believe, everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just the one.
Yeah, one.
Ed's been succeeding at a lot of rolls and hasn't had a chance to push much. So yeah,
Oh, I don't mind.
yeah.
I'm really glad
5.
that you can recover various kind of attribute damage.
Relatively
Yeah,
easy.
relatively easily with sleep and food and stuff. In fact, we didn't actually, just before we finish, can everybody give me a food and drink roll, please?
Oh, sure.
Because we didn't do that earlier today. So with
Oh yeah, for the previous day. Yep.
for the previous day, right?
Ooh, shit.
And please label them as well, water and food, so I know which ones you're rolling. Like
Yep.
just like Charlotte's done. And you need to put the label at the end after the dice number. Okay, so you've gone down to D6 in food, Ed.
Yay.
Arse.
Oh, and you've used up the last of your. What was that?
That was my food.
So you're out of food as well.
Oh, you have octopus. All right.
Yeah, well, apparently.
And water as well, please, everyone.
I did.
Okay.
All right. Resource first, RES first.
Thank you for telling me much too late. That is the best time to tell me.
Okay, cool. So make sure to change that on your character sheet. If you've, I think Harry, you're the only one who's run out, right? So far.
Yeah, ran
so
out of food.
just delete the just hit like the delete in the cell for food, and we'll
I did.
replace it with
I
something
replaced
else.
it with 0, so I know,
That's fine.
so I know
Yep.
it's not an accidental deletion.
Sure.
Matt, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
I noticed that I seem to only have 1 XP, and I don't remember spending anything.
Oh, we'll do XP. We'll talk about XP now, actually,
Okay.
because this is we did talk about XP, and you should have.
At least 3, right?
Okay.
Or no?
No, because no.
2.
I think we've had we've had
2
two.
sessions, haven't we?
We've had 2
Well,
full.
last session there was like a challenge, and this session we moved hexes. First session we
I'm
moved hexes.
we're talking about
That's
previous to last session.
I think I
Previous to this session, you should have had. We kind of combined it, right? So nobody used their pride or dark secret
No.
yet. You have overcome challenges and you have explored. So you've had, you should have had two experience.
Okay. Yeah.
Like everybody should have probably had 2 experience. You would have got 1 experience from. So yeah, Eric, you kind of
I
jumped
had
the gun.
4 coming into this, but I had extra because of reasons.
How did you have?
Yeah.
Ah,
2.
okay.
The bear was extra, and also the other thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. So
Cool.
dark secret stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you would have had 2 to start off with, not 1. That would have been after that would have
Cool.
come after episode 2. So
Yep. Okay.
everybody should be on 2. Everyone should have had, other than Eric, everyone should have had 2 experience points. And now looking at the end of this session, you traveled, so you would have got 1 extra one, everyone. And you also overcame a challenge. So everybody gets another 2 XP. So everyone should now be sitting on 4.
Cool.
Eric Arlick should have
that
gained
3?
an additional 2. You spent some, so yeah.
I was at 4, spent 3, gained 2.
Right. Cool. And
Okay.
we can talk about this offline, but you can spend your experience points on talent. So If you want to try and get a new talent, you can do that. There'll be some rules around how you do that exactly, so we can talk about that offline, and we'll try and level you up if you want to level up, to use the term level up, outside of the actual session. So our 2 hours is kind of a little bit more focused, like today. Okay.
Makes sense.
And if you want to increase skills cost 5 XP times the level you want to go into. So they're a bit more expensive.
Yikes.
Yes, talents are cheaper. So yeah,
I suppose talents are much more specific.
they're much more specific, exactly. They're also quite powerful, but yeah. Anyway, so it's worth thinking about that. Like, yeah, skills. There are only 16 skills in this game, so they're fairly broad in terms of what they encompass. So it can be quite useful to put experience points into them to save up for that. But yeah, and there's no in my game. Some people disagree about this, where they only let you keep 10 experience points at a time, or maybe I think it might be more. Whatever's on the character sheet. I don't put a cap on it. So like, if you want to save it up for some reason, I don't really care. Fine, do that. It seems like a sort of silly
I think
thing
willpower
to do.
is capped at 10.
Willpower is definitely capped at 10.
Experience.
Absolutely. Experience isn't capped in my games. So, right. That's it. So, thank you very much. Did you have fun?
Yeah,
Excellent.
this is awesome.
Yes. Amazing.
Okay.
I have to say, combat in this game is much less painful than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Unless
really
you've
thought
been
it would be,
swallowed.
like-
Unless you've been swallowed by an octopus. That's
Ah,
Before we started playing this, I really thought it was going to be quite a drag.
no,
But
it's
Turns out to be surprisingly efficient.
the longest thing the thing that takes most time is figuring out how many, like, which dice you need to roll. And other than that, it goes pretty quickly.
I could do with a somewhat simpler dice system that feels about right. I am not getting my brain around it very well at all.
It doesn't. It also doesn't help, especially for anyone who's new to a system, to only be playing once a month for 2 hours. It's definitely is not the ideal way to play. a role-playing game.
Familiarity would probably improve it.
Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, that's how
Yep.
that's how it is. So
The important thing is it's fun.
yeah, and Eric and Ed and myself have all run for like these games before, so we could and Charlotte's been in a campaign too, so we all kind of can help make sure that we're remembering rules and stuff and not forgetting stuff. So I don't mind the kind of I don't consider any of you to be rules lawyers, but I appreciate reminders of things if I'm forgetting them, because I like to stay focused in the
Made a little
all the GM
note
stuff I'm trying to
myself.
do. Yeah, cool. So that's it. We're gonna wrap up
Cool.
now. So thanks everyone for
Excellent.
watching. Yeah, Fenhorn's mentioning in the chat just about experience points. We did mention in session 0, if anybody's kind of wondering about this. One of the house rules that I have for this game is I'm reducing the amount of experience that gets handed out. So the maximum you can get is 3, and anyway, I may as well just describe it again. I was kind of saying it there, but basically you get 1 experience point if you have done any exploration. Basically, you've gone into you've discovered something interesting, right? Not just hex crawling. So finding an adventure site, and technically this village is an adventure site. The pond kind of was an adventure site. It had the potential to be if you would have gone down into the hole in the cave, but there you go. The overcoming an obstacle is another one. So if you've had a fight basically, or you've had some sort of social combat or something like that, that counts towards another experience point you can get. And the final one is for your personal traits. So you have relationships, you have a pride, and you have a dark secret. So if you've used any of them in the session, you'll get another experience point too. So 2 of those, the overcoming obstacles and exploration, are fairly group centric. So everyone's probably going to earn those roughly the same. But the final one is a bit more personal. So try and remember that. Try and maybe think about your pride and your dark secrets.
I was hoping to use my pride, but I succeeded. It's like,
Yeah. You need to fail at what you're trying to do and then kick your pride into gear. So again, I could have been a little bit better prepared with remembering those things. I'll try to do that maybe for future sessions.
that's our job, Matt.
Yeah, but I can help to kind of remind you for that too. So anyway, cool. That was fun for me too. So the initial stress of trying to get the tools to work paid off in the end. We got to use a cool map as well.
Yep, that's cool.
Which I'm quite happy about. So yeah, thanks very much, and yeah, we'll catch you next time. If you're new, if you're watching episode 3, I'm assuming you've watched the previous episodes. But what would really help this channel, if you haven't done it already, if you're watching this on Twitch, if you can hit the follow button, basically allows you to get updates when we go live. You get a little email update. Helps us as well to know who's how many people are kind of interested in and following. And if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, then if you could hit the subscribe, that would also be quite useful too. But yeah, and feel free to leave comments, get in touch with us. All the links are going to be in the description for the show to chat to us if you got any questions. Yeah, thanks for watching, and catch you next time.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Bye bye.
Have a good night.